www.MVRemix.com.
Walk their motherfucking head.
Alright. But first I want to, thank you for taking the time out to get in here.
You the nigga that put you on TV.
Your first question is basically, where you been? I mean, what's going on? People ain't heard from you in a minute, but
yeah, for the most part, man, I just been around, man, doing production and just living a regular life, man. I did a lot of things in my career, so as far as music is concerned, so I basically took a break and just basically lived off my legacy, so to speak.
Right.
So for the most part, like, I'm back. I feel like there's some things I need to do, and necessary.
Right. Now, the last couple of years, a lot of cats from back in the day have been coming back into the game, dropping albums.
Mm-hmm.
And I, for one, feel it's kind of necessary because some of the game is getting off a little bit. What do you think about that?
Right.
You feel about the same way about that? You think y'all?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's for everybody, man. I mean, I think some people's styles are dated.
True.
And I mean, it's not a bad thing. But I mean, I only look at it as a detrimental thing as far as how they'll be received by the mainstream market, like if that's what they're trying to attack, or their real purpose. For most of the time, I mean, 99.9% of the time, people coming out, it's not really a crusade or anything. It's like trying to make some paper.
Exactly.
So I mean, if that's why you're coming back, which for the most part, that's the reason why you're coming back.
Right.
You really gotta address the market that you're trying to capture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's for everybody.
So for you, hip hop love or for the love or for the money?
Me?
Mix of both, yeah.
For both.
For both.
For both. I mean, and I mean the rap game that I choose to call it, which it's not really hip hop to me.
Right.
It's like I'm getting into the rap game for the money.
Right.
There's nothing really in it except money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As far as hip hop is concerned, I love that. You don't have to get back into the rap game to love hip hop. You can just make music. You can just go out in the street. You can just do, freestyle at clubs for that matter. But, you gotta be real, get in the rap game for the dough.
Right. Is it something that you think that you're going to be bringing to the game that's not out there right now? Something different that's coming from you?
Oh, yeah. A realistic individual for one.
Okay.
Not a lot of realistic individuals. There's a lot of fraud. Everybody's a gangster, super thug.
True.
Everybody busts their gat every day. Everybody got mad bodies. Everybody got stupid weight in the trunk.
Right.
It's like, come on, man. Be serious. You know what I mean? It's like, you might be led to believe that about a couple of people, but you ain't gonna, how do they expect the world to believe that about everybody? Every new rapper you hear, it's the same story. Everybody's a criminal. You know what I'm saying? Now it's so bad, like even in the street, you hear stuff, it's like it's not even cool to work for transit no more. It's not cool to work for the city. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's not even cool for a cat to have a regular job. It's like you gotta be, I don't really do that. I hustle, son.
Right.
You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not realistic.
Yeah, everybody want to live the movie.
Right.
And it's not. That's not what it's about.
True. So you mentioned, you're living off of the legacy, and part of that, from especially my first introduction to the stuff you did was Hawaiian Sophie, of course. And it, for me, it was like a big thing because, I grew up in Hawaii, and I was out there when I first saw that joint hit the TV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, someone did a song about Hawaii. But how do you feel about those tracks back then that day?
About mine or about everybody's in general?
Like yours back in, like Hawaiian Sophie and Originators. How do you feel about that today?
I mean, some of that stuff was not stuff that I did, like as far as street music.
Right.
Like a lot of that stuff, I was sort of catering not so much to the market, but I was catering to EMI at the time. EMI was like, look, we like this. So I'm saying in my mind, okay, if you like it, that means you're gonna support it.
Right.
So as long as it's me and you're gonna support it, then I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So that's why I ran with it. And I mean, it kind of put me in a pocket where, you know, people used to ask me, am I from Philly?
Right.
Because they would get me, you know, some people would get me mixed up with Fresh Prince and, you know, on some level like that, which we don't look nothing alike, but we ain't sound alike. But you know, I guess it was the whole, you know, novelty type rap thing,
right.
You know, where it wasn't intimidating or anything. So I guess they associated us. But the music was a lot different. I mean, as far as it wasn't as much gangster rap prevalent,
right.
You know, which, I mean, it was just a more open market,
right.
And it was a market that was closer to the ideologies of hip hop, rather than what it is today, where all the gangster music gets funneled through. Hold on one second. Wise, what up?
All right. So there's probably like there's a whole like generation of hip hop heads now that haven't heard who Jaz-O is or anything, you know, about you. So what is it that they need to know? What is it you want them to know, you know, when you're coming in, you know, to the game now?
I mean, for the most part, I mean, I'm represented by my music, and I mean primarily, you know, on an introductory level, and then when you speak of like individually, I mean they'll learn about me by way, you know, of the media,
right,
you know,
right.
through interviews, so on and so forth. That's important, and I think it's important also that it gets back to a point where you have artists who have the ability to express themselves and articulate properly and you know, express exactly who they are and what they're about.
Right.
You know, in all reality, not just the guns and the cars and everything, but the real, you know what I mean, talk right. to people, you know.
That's a pretty positive outlook on way to do it.
Yeah, it's real, and I mean that would alleviate a whole lot of people, because I mean most cats and females they really step up and say a lot of ignorant shit, you know, and they, you know, and a lot, I mean, we just really need to really have people who can articulate. I mean, you got a lot of words to say, you know, you rhyme. You're supposed to be a writer, a lyricist, which, you know, half of them aren't because they got ghostwriters, but still, you know, right. It's like, but then you can't articulate, you can't talk, right. You know, and it's not, and I'm not saying that it's an artist's job to be a positive role model, because it's really not, right. But it doesn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt. And at the same time, I think it's more incumbent upon the parents, you know, to you know, be, you know, to you know, have discretion. Like, look, you know, for the children, like this is what you should listen to. If you want to listen to this, understand what this is. Say, no, I don't want you listening to this. Tell them why. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree with that. It starts with the parents, because I know myself. I grew up hardcore NWA fan, but that's never been my style, my stilo at all. I just like the music.
Right.
You know, so it's good to hit from the parents to get the knowledge to know what you should be doing.
This is not something that you should do. These guys are saying this, and also tell them these guys are not real gangsters. Maybe some of them were gangsters at one time and they know a lot about it, but they're recording artists. So don't go out there with this attitude that, you know, you could go out there and gun somebody down and it doesn't mean anything. You're gonna come back in the house and have dinner and shit and go to school tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. It's killing me.
So you just did I think it was the Kings County album?
Yeah, it's a compilation, and it was done in partnership with other parties concerned, where I compromised some of my control over the project just for the good of the project.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you coming up with anything solo?
Yeah. I'm working on my solo to be called One Magnitude. That I do have.
All right.
That I do have. And so I also have a project I'm working on where I'm putting out some of my material that I recorded, but it was never released, circa 93, 94.
All right.
And it'll kind of put the pieces together for a lot of the younger audience who are not familiar with me.
Okay.
And they'll hear in the material, they'll be like, damn. They'll say it sounds a hell of a lot like Jay-Z, but better.
Right.
But then they'll realize, like, damn, that's where it came from.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I didn't know if you wanted to speak on that, but, you know, any thoughts there on what's going on, what's the deal?
I mean, for the most part, I mean, I did, you know, Bleak said what he said on the remix of the Murder Marcyville remix. I said what I said on Over. They came back with a corny freestyle, having everybody come at me.
Right.
I shut them down with this Nothing freestyle. I don't know if y'all heard it.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, that's what I put up in there.
Okay.
Yeah. And after that, I heard no response.
Is there any place people can get to hear that? Because I know their track is all over the place.
Huh?
I said I know their joint is like everywhere. The one that they did.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
But Over's gonna be everywhere soon, and people gonna know.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah,
people gonna know.
Haven't heard too much like in a rebuttal as coming from you as yet. You know, but their stuff just seems.
You never heard Over?
Nah, their stuff just seems to be everywhere though. I just haven't heard.
Wow, that's deep because y'all based out of New York?
He's in New York. I'm down in Florida.
That's why. You know about Over song about it for the track though.
Yeah,
okay.
It's just that, like I said, that stuff seems to be like all over the spot. And like even when preparing for this, getting questions from people, you know, people's wondering if you was going to answer back any of that stuff or if you did. So it's like, I guess a lot of people is not.
That's weird.
Getting to it.
How long ago was that? Did you record that? I recorded Over before they rebutted. The reason why they came at me was because of Over.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So you should be out there then. Yeah, it's out.
You got any guest appearances coming up that you're gonna be on?
None that I want. On other people's projects?
Right.
None that I can think of right now. I haven't done anything on anybody's. I'm basically in my own little mind pool right now.
All right.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know about you, take it back to you know, how'd you get started? You know, because it's kind of a thing you're kind of known for your battle skills as well.
Yeah. My star goes back. My star goes back to like the late 70s. You know, with my man, he was like, yo, he wanted to rhyme. So he was like, yo, I don't know how to write. So could you write me a rhyme? So I was writing, and he was like, write it for yourself and say it for yourself. So I wrote like what I know now to be an 8-bar rhyme. And I said it. He liked the way I said it. He was like, yo, he's like, that sounds good, man. He's like you good. And I didn't really understand, like, so then he said, yo, you should write more. I'm telling you, man, you should write more. So I was like, all right. So I wrote like 2 more rhymes. And you gotta understand, like back then, like it wasn't like that was before, like, you know, people used to walk around, cats used to walk around with the rhyme books and all that. Yeah. It wasn't even that type of situation. And I wrote those 3 rhymes. I went to a party or 2, said them rhymes, and everybody was going crazy. And that's what set it off. You're talking about like the late 70s.
Dang. He was there at the very, very beginning.
Nah, that wasn't. That's the whole thing. Like, a lot of people don't really understand, like, the roots of hip hop. Before they called it hip hop, it was called B-boy. And it was associated along with like the breakdancing, not that pop lock shit, but breakdancing. It was associated with that, and all of that shit all together with the rhyming and the breakdancer was called b-boy. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was. Hip hop got the name after the mainstream saw something and they was like, yo, hip hop. Like,
now we want a piece of this.
Yeah. And then it evolved into rap music, and that's when everything went shit for the most part.
So you think it's pretty much gotten a little bit out of control from the roots of where it is, or you think it's in a different spot of where it should be?
It's way different because even so for the most part, you got a situation where you got I lost my train of thought. I was in my man.
About hip hop being on off a little bit, or
you got this situation where you got this whole thing where they call it real hip hop,
right?
Like the backpackers, and everybody got a Chinese, a Japanese girlfriend and shit, and it's like that's not real hip hop. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but they say that's real hip hop, and then this other shit is rap music. But real hip hop is just the variety of music that evolves from, from the source. Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, all right, so I'm gonna get a couple more questions before I want to let you get back to your guests and stuff. As far as hip hop in the state where it's at worldwide right now, you got Japanese hip hop, you got Chinese hip hop. I heard some Korean rap the other day.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, man. To me, that's what hip hop is all about. It's not about politics and this should be played more than that because they talking more about guns and some gully shit over here, and right here this dude is talking about his moms and some love and emotional shit. It should be based on the fact that a hot song, what the people want to hear, but what people don't realize is that they created the condition for what people want to hear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
It's like I grow coffee beans and shit, and I want the world to buy coffee when everybody want to buy all different types of groceries, but in your cereal, I keep slipping fucking little bits of coffee in your cereal.
Right.
So you don't want coffee. I created a condition for you to want coffee, and that's just what they do with the radio. They funnel through all that gangster shit or all the garbage and ignorant music, and they got the same program because they programming people. They got the same lineup every fucking day, and that's what you want to hear. They create a condition for you where you want to hear that shit, and then they only allow those artists who are kicking that ignorant shit to get deals, and they get major, and they look big, and they're looked upon as talented artists because they got so much money behind them, so much politics behind them, and you might have a multi-talented, diverse, crazy motherfucker over here, male or female, won't see the light of day.
So you
just an example of y'all telling me a lot of you haven't heard Over, and you heard about it, but you ain't hear the song. Kind of shit is that, but you hear the answer. That's because that's Rockefeller, and they got a machine, as opposed to independent Jaz-O is not that way. Where I got to service motherfuckers right out of my office. You know what I'm saying? Where they already got their regional reps, get the shit the next day and hit the radio.
No doubt.
But it's gonna come around.
So you kind of got that underground mindset. You want to kind of still free with what you're gonna do. You're doing yours on your terms, type of deal.
Yeah, but at the same time, I need that major vehicle, man. I need that machine. It's like you got a choice. It depends on your mind state. You could choose one. You could live with an angel and let the angel lie to you, or you could live with a demon and let him tell you the truth. Which one would you rather have? I'd rather have a demon telling me the truth. If I'm gonna sit there with a stupid mind state like, oh, it's a demon, I'm not gonna live. You know what I'm saying? So if this is the system that these motherfuckers created, hey, let's rock, because that's how I'm gonna be heard. It's for the greater good.
All right. Well, hottest cat out right now. Who do you think is the hottest? Underground, commercial, whoever. Who do you think?
Me.
All right. All right. Hey, that's cool. We can end it on that note then. And unless there's anything that you want to say.
Nah, I said it.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, I appreciate that.